Well, hello. This is our second session that we're doing with the Bible, with the stories. We're also doing some knock-knock jokes and a nursery rhyme and a fairy tale. So I hope you've had a good week at school. I hope you're studying and doing your work like you're supposed to. And I know that you're enjoying school. And I'd say you're looking forward maybe to being out of school. You've been out a lot this year. And I miss coming and seeing you because I'm just a little leery about coming because of the COVID. And I've talked to your teachers and they told me that I really didn't need to. So this is my way of giving you the knock-knock jokes, the nursery rhyme, and the fairy tale. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you can watch them all. We're going to start out with the knock-knock jokes, but before we do, I wanted to show you my little bracelet. And you know that the cardinal, Miss Mona's stories, and the cardinal is my logo. And Ronnie made me this bracelet. It's got a cardinal on it. I've got cardinal earrings on that my Jordy got me. So I'm equipped for the session that we're going to do, and I hope you will enjoy it. Our first knock-knock joke. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Abby.
Abby who?
Abby stung at me on the nose.
Ouch.
Ouch. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Agatha.
Agatha who?
Agatha, headache. Do you have any aspirin? Knock knock.
Who's there?
Allison.
Allison who?
I'll listen to you if you listen to me. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Amanda.
Amanda who?
Amanda, to fix the refrigerator, is here. And one more. Knock knock.
Who's there?
Athea.
Athea who?
I see you later, dude. Okay, so there's the corny jokes or the corny knock knock, and they are corny. I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope you laughed at them. Ronnie did. She's my listener, and she listened to them, and she giggled at them. She didn't want me to read them over to begin with, so she could hear it fresh. So that's what I did. Well, our little nursery rhyme today is Little Bo Peep. Now, do you know Little Bo Peep? I know some of you do if I've ever read you about a nursery rhyme in school, because we've done that. And remember, we got us a little Bo Peep, and she had sheep all around her. Well, we can't do that today. We can't do that. But you can say it after I say it once. And I'm going to ask Ronnie if she'll do it with me, okay? All right. Little Bo Peep had lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. We'll leave them alone and they'll come home bringing their tails behind them. Now, in one, it says wagging their tails behind them, and I like that. I like the wagging their tails. But we'll do what this says. All right, you ready, Ronnie?
I am.
Okay. Little Bo Peep has lost her sheep and doesn't know where to find them. Leave them alone and they'll come home bringing their tails behind them, or wagging their tails behind them. Thank you, Ronnie. Now, I hope you did that too. I hope that you joined in and did the Little Bo Peep. Well, finally, our fairy tale, and all of you know this story, I know you do, and it's called Goldilocks and the 3 Bears. Okay, Goldilocks is a little mischievous. Well, let's see what she does. Well, once upon a time, there was a little girl named Goldilocks who had beautiful golden hair. She lived in a pretty house right at the edge of the forest, and each morning she liked to play outside before breakfast, gathering flowers and looking at the animals who lived in the trees. One day, though, she strayed farther than usual. She skipped happily along the forest path, chasing butterflies until she was far from home and very hungry. Just as she was thinking that it would take a long time to walk back for breakfast, a delicious smell wafted through the woods, and she followed it all the way to a little cottage. I wonder who lives here, Goldilocks said to herself. Perhaps they would share their breakfast with me. She knocked on the door, but there was no answer. As Goldilocks pushed gently on the door, it swung open. The house inside was cozy and inviting. Even though she knew she shouldn't, Goldilocks stepped inside. The delicious smell was coming from 3 bowls of steaming porridge on the table. Now, porridge is something like we know as oatmeal or cream of wheat. Now, that's what porridge is. There was a great big bowl, and there was a middle-sized bowl, and there was a tiny bowl. Goldilocks was so hungry that even though she knew she shouldn't, she tasted the porridge in the big bowl. "Phew!" she cried. "This porridge is too hot." And next, she tasted the porridge in the middle-sized bowl. Yuck! This porridge is too cold. So finally, she tasted the porridge in the teeny tiny bowl. "Yum," Goldilocks said. "This porridge is just right." And you know what she did? She ate it all up. With her tummy nice and full, Goldilocks decided to take a rest before she set out for home. So she looked around the room for somewhere to sit, and there were 3 chairs. A great big chair, a middle-sized chair, and a tiny chair. Well, she climbed into the great big chair, and she said, "This chair is much too high for me." So she tried the middle-sized chair, but she sank deep into the cushions. And she said, "Nah, this chair is much too squishy for me." So she sat on the teeny tiny chair. "This chair is just right." She settled down, but Goldilocks was full of porridge and too heavy for the teeny tiny chair, and it squeaked and it creaked and it creaked and it cracked, and then crash! The chair crashed. Well, it broke into teeny tiny pieces, and Goldilocks fell on the floor. "Well, that wasn't a good chair," she said crossly. Then, even though she knew she shouldn't, She went upstairs to look. In the bedroom, there were 3 beds. A great big bed, and a middle-sized bed, and a teeny tiny bed. So she tried to lay down on the big bed, but it wasn't at all comfy. This bed is too hard and lumpy, she grumbled. And then Goldilocks lay down on the middle-sized bed, but that was no better. This bed is too soft and squishy, she mumbled. And so at last she snuggled down in the teeny tiny bed. This bed is just right, she said. And you know what she did? She fell asleep. Now, whenever there is a house with porterage and with chairs and beds, there is usually someone who lives there. And that was true of this house. 3 big bears lived there. A great big daddy bear, and a middle-sized mommy bear, and a teeny tiny baby bear. The 3 bears had made their porridge and gone out for a walk in the woods while it cooled down. At last they went home for their breakfast. Why is the door open? Why is the door open? Daddy Bear said in his deep, rough voice. Why are there footprints on the floor? Mommy Bear said in her soft, low voice. Baby Bear said nothing. And they went over to the table, and Daddy Bear looked in his bowl. Someone's been eating my porridge, he growled. Someone's been eating my porridge, said Mommy Bear. And Baby Bear looked at his bowl. Someone has been eating my porridge, and they've eaten it all up, he cried in his teeny tiny voice. Daddy Bear stomped over to his chair. Someone's been sitting in my chair, he growled. There's a long hair on it. Someone's been sitting in my chair, Mommy Bear explained. The cushions are all squashed. Baby Bear looked at his chair. Someone's been sitting in my chair, he cried, and they've broken it into pieces. Well, let's get to the bottom of this, Daddy Bear growled, and they padded upstairs. Daddy Bear saw the rumpled cover on his bed. Someone's been sleeping in my bed, he grumbled. Mommy Bear saw the jumbled pillows on her bed. Someone's been sleeping in my bed, she said. And Baby Bear padded up to his bed. Someone's been sleeping in my bed, and they're still in there, he cried. And the 3 bears crowded around the sleeping girl. Baby Bear reached out a fuzzy paw to touch her golden locks, and Goldilocks opened her eyes. Imagine her surprise when she saw 3 bears peering at her. She leapt out of bed, ran down the stairs, through the door, along the path, and along the way home. And she never visited the house of the 3 bears again. I bet they scared her to death when she looked up and saw 3 bears. I wonder something, y'all. When you do something bad that you know you shouldn't do, and that's what she said all the time, I shouldn't have done it. When you do something like that, do you tell your mama? I don't know if Goldilocks did or not, but she should have. She should have been truthful and told her mommy and daddy the truth. You do that. Be sure to tell your mommy and daddy the truth about everything. I want you to study hard this week. Be a good boy and girl. Mind your teacher, mind your parents. And I want you to know something, that I love you. Bye. See you soon. A little extra here. If you like this story, there's a little like button. If you'll push it that you like it and subscribe to my channel, I'll appreciate it and I'll know that you did like it.